Tonight we're going to be playing a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy Part 2. For those of you that has not played this game yet, it's a little bit different than the first one. And let me go ahead and just close out of it here so we can start the game over. On the first one, you had doors to kind of keep the little animatronics out. On this one, it works a little bit differently, and I'm kind of just going to explain a little bit about that as we go through the first night, because the first night is very easy. You know, it's just one of those things that kind of gets you used to the game and how the new controls works. As you can see, the graphics are actually a lot better on this one. To me, the first one, the graphics were a little fuzzy. They seemed a little bit dated. This one actually works out a lot better. You do have a little bit more control over things in this one. And it is a lot more scary than the first one, because you have a lot more animatronics coming after you. So it takes a little bit of skill and strategy to make sure that you keep them out, because they literally can come in all directions. So, and as you get into higher levels, it does get a bit more difficult. But let's go ahead and we're going to start a new game. And as you can see, it's the grand reopening. We have reopened up the pizza place, and we are hiring people that's going to get stuffed into suits again. We're on the first night. I am sorry about the sound. For some reason, it does not want to record the sound also from my iPad. But on this one, pretty much what you do, if you notice right away, the first change you're going to see is you have a flashlight in this one. And up at the top, you do still have your battery. The only thing is your battery on this one does not control the doors like on the first one. Because in this one, you literally have no doors whatsoever. You have your lights, your cameras, and then you have this Freddy suit, which is much different than the first one. So basically, what you do to keep out the animatronics in this version of Five Nights at Freddy is you use your lights, and mostly you use your Freddy suit. There's also another little thing on here. It's the music box. The call would kind of be telling you about it right now, so once he kind of shuts up, it will allow us to get access to the music box. But for now, we're just going to just kind of navigate a little bit and kind of get used to the controls. So what will happen on this one is you'll have animatronics coming in from the side vents as well as straight in front of you. And where we have no doors, the new animatronics are kind of programmed so they're tied into a criminal database pretty much, and they go looking for people. So if there's nobody in the room with them, then they go try to find people. So that's kind of where the music box comes into play. As long as they hear some sort of noise, they stay put. At least some of them stay put anyway. But when they do kind of wander in the room with you, because they will literally come in the room right inside there with you, when that happens, you just throw on your Freddy suit. And that way they think you're an animatronic. You kind of, blend in at that point, and they will not stuff you in a suit. So for the first night, it's pretty easy. The first night is pretty much us sitting here in our Freddy suit. We can kind of look around, make sure there's nobody close to us. We will, from time to time, have to go in and wind up our music box, which is on the Cam 11. You just notice there's a lot more cameras in this one to kind of keep track of. And you even have your flashlight in each one of these too. And we've already got a guy missing in the back room. There he is. So we just kind of go around, keep looking, make sure no one's near us. And if we see someone standing in front of us, then we're going to throw on the Freddy suit. So we're just going to leave it on there for just a second. It will actually alert us when our music box needs to be wound back up. And for the first night, this is it. I mean, it's really easy. You just keep the mask on, keep the music box wound up. And if you notice, it's kind of alerting us right now that we need to go in and wind up the music box. So we just go press and hold on that little icon there, and we are good. We can go throw our suit back on, and we are all set. Nobody's going to come in and stuff us in a suit. We can actually look, because eventually they will come to the door. See, our flashlight's not working. When our flashlight stops working, you can pretty much guarantee someone's close by. And the later levels, because I have actually beat this game, as you get up into the later levels, it gets pretty difficult, because you're trying to use the suit and your flashlight and the music box, everything in combination to keep out the animatronics, and it can be difficult because you may have one right in the room with you at the time, and then you have to go wind up the music box. And for some of the animatronics, the Freddy suit does not keep them from entering the room. So the music box is not wound up even though you have the suit on. They'll still come in, they'll still stuff you in a suit. So we have to always watch those things. As for the battery on this one, if you've played the first one, which I would assume anyone that's playing this one has played the first one. If not, go download it now, because it is one of the better iOS games out there. But if you played the first one, you'll remember that the battery on the first one pretty much kept you being able to shut the doors. If the battery, if your battery went dead, then you weren't able to close the doors, and then Freddy would come in, lights would go off. Freddy come in, stuff you in a suit pretty much automatically. And this one, if your battery does run down, you're still able to play. You don't immediately die like you did in the first one, but you're not able to use your flashlight. So if Foxy or any of the animatronics come after you that aren't affected by the Freddy mask or the music box, then you're kind of screwed at that point, because you have to have the flashlight to kind of shine on them to make them back off. Here we go, we need to wind it back up. If not, we'll have somebody jump in and grab us. And, you know, we kind of have our flashlights on our cameras to, uh-oh, he's very close. He's over here in this vent, so we need to keep our suit on until he decides to leave. So you do have your flashlight so you can see the cameras, which does make it a little bit easier, but it also adds to the jump scares to it, because you can shine your flashlight and then you can see something in the room that you couldn't necessarily see without your flashlights. I think these games is more suspense than anything, and he's still there waiting on me. And my music box is empty. So we need to put the suit back on before he decides to come in and stuff me in a Freddy suit. It's 5 a.m. though, our night's about to end. As soon as it hits 6 a.m., we are good to go. There we go. We made it through the first night. Like I said, the first one is just pretty much keeping the music box wound up and keeping the Freddy suit on. So we are on the second night, and I will see you again with another video on how to get through our second night of Five Nights at Freddy.